Is Buddy Black, the gallbladder guru, coming to you live. So I just wanted to chat with you real quick. Wanted to bring up magnesium. Had a lot of people talking about this, a lot of people asking questions. Definitely want to be able to help in any way I possibly can. Post your questions if you would into the chat. I should be able to get it. This is going live on YouTube. Both of our gallbladder groups in the diet group and the main support group, and also on my page. So this is going to be a very interesting topic. Very quick one. I'm not going to get too crazy on it. I know that a lot of people have been asking questions, so I wanted to be able to share it with you and help hopefully, clear some of the air on it. It's really interesting product. I take it daily, and man, what is it? Got something on me. Oh my gosh. I see it. I can see it through the camera, and it's just like, what the crap is that? Anyway, so without further ado, let's talk about this stuff. I'm going to share my screen, and I'll be able to share with you some stuff. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do screen number 1. Oh, here we go. So I'll blow this up a little bit where you can see it. There you go. So the degree and rate at which your body absorbs a mineral, the bioavailability, and what this is just sharing with us real quick is just showing us what actually interacts. So like your magnesium, and we're only going to talk about magnesium and some other things, but magnesium has a direct effect on calcium, phosphorus, potassium, and sodium in your body. Also just be aware that the composition of the mineral and the vitamin, the mineral and vitamin that it interacts with, and also the magnesium. So we're going to go through, I think there's either 8 or 9 types of magnesium. I want to clarify some stuff today. Really, really easy to go through. I'll post these when this is over with. I'll post the pictures that I've got here. I'll drop them in the links in the show notes so you'll be able to understand them. So your diet, your age, your metabolism, the health of your gastrointestinal tract, and that is where I want to come with us. When we're talking about gallbladder issues, we're talking about digestive issues. We've had a round or 2 of antibiotics. We've had surgery, or we're getting ready to go to surgery. Those are some things we definitely have to look at and to take into place. So without further ado, let's go into this one. So this is, all these are different ones. So these are the different things and ones you look at in the different stuff. So, we're going to go over the taurate, and we're also going to look at different magnesiums. I'll share with you which ones I take. So this is magnesium gluconate. This one's not as easy. Let me go this one. This one here was going to share with you. So I can move this around so you can see it and whatnot. But like magnesium glycinate, good for migraines, those who have deficiencies, no laxative properties. Glycine helps with sleep, anxiety, inflammation. I will tell you right now, this is the one that I use. This one right here, magnesium. I use actually a bioavailability. It's called magnesium biglycinate. That's the one I use. But you got magnesium threonate, best for cognitive function and brain fog. Does not have laxative properties. It's good to combine with other forms of magnesium, and you'll find biglycinate, you'll find that one mixed with threonate many times as well. It energizes you to take them in the morning. Topical magnesium, these are ones that literally are topical. They come in creams, and you can rub up the lotions, baths, foot soaks, combination with other forms of magnesium, chlorides and sulfates. Magnesium malate, good for fibromyalgia. I'm not going to read all those kinds of, but chronic fatigue syndrome. The reason I bring that one up, malate up, is that chronic fatigue syndrome is that one in and of itself is one of those places that you have to look at the bioavailability, but you also have to look at chronic fatigue is one thing that we with gallbladder issues we have that. I said we kind of have that. We've been through a lot. We've been through surgery or getting ready for surgery. We're going through gallbladder attacks, all that kind of stuff, and it just becomes a big, big pain, no pun intended. And we just need to look at some things that could be available to us to be able to help us weather through the storm and then to get back balanced again. Magnesium citrate, It's decent. It's used as a laxative, potentially not tolerated in higher doses because of this. Mixes well with liquids. So your taurate. So we've got a guess that taurate and gluconate. So you got taurate. Here's your taurate, and here's your glycinate. And there's different ones. So magnesium taurate, great for heart-related issues and migraines, shown to reduce heart attacks. Difficult to find a good brand that's not mixed with other forms, right? So you got, again, the thing about magnesium is there's so many different ones available, and I'll go through another one here in a minute. And you've got to look at every single one of them and look at, what am I looking for? What am I trying to accomplish? Am I having heart palpitations? Am I having some things? So I will share this with you as well. So last but not least, I'm going to do that. Well, we already looked at this one. So this one. So gluconate is this one. Oxide, good for heartburn. Magnesium oxide, you will find it is the cheapest magnesium on the planet. I mean, it's really, really, really cheap. But that's why it's cheap. It doesn't do very well for us, and it doesn't. But it is a magnesium product, so you beware of those. Just read the labels, understand what you're getting into and what you're looking at. Magnesium chloride, good for skin. Magnesium citrate, good for digestion. Magnesium hydroxide for heartburn. Aspartate. And glycinate, good for calming. I use magnesium. I eat a carnivore diet, so I want to be able to get. So I do carnivore diet. I want to be able to get all of this. I want my calcium, phosphorus, potassium, and sodium. I want those brought to my homeostasis. I want them to be in balance for my diet. Real quick, this is some things you'll look at. Deficiencies, poor cognitive processing, headaches, chronic migraines, constipation, IBS, and related disorders, fatigue, insomnia, muscle spasms, cramping, chronic pain and fibromyalgia, heart arrhythmias, numbness, tingling, mood and behavioral disorders. A lot of these things are crossovers. So there's a myriad of things that you can deal with and you can look at. That's you really have to study it. You really have to understand what's going on with it. So that's why I wanted to share with you, because with gallbladder issues, usually we're trying to find something to calm us down. We're trying to find something that'll help us with a deficiency. And biglycinate, I will tell you, that's by far the one that I've used. Magnesium biglycinate. I don't think I've got. I could, let me look real quick. I'll show you the one on Amazon. I get it off of Amazon. It's so daggum cheap and it's so easy. I'll just show you real quick. I'll just bring it up. That way you can look at it. So you can type in magnesium glycinate, but by one, this Dr. Schwartz. This one is the one that I get. You can see I've purchased this one. I purchase it. I use it a lot. I also use some from the DNA company. Let's see here real quick. Let me share screen. So this is the one that I use, magnesium biglycinate. This one is a really, really good one. You can tell I've purchased this stuff a lot, So this is the big bottle. They're little bitty capsules, though. That's the only thing I don't like about them. When I say I don't like, when you look, see how small they are compared to the other ones. But when you read the bottle, this is the issue you come up with, is this right here. See, 3 capsules only gets you 72 milligrams or 17%. So you got to take more of them. But it is gentle on your stomach, and they're easy to swallow because they're so stinking small. So magnesium threonate. Magnesium threonate. Let's look at it real quick. Let's see its bioavailability. Yeah, brain fog helps with as a caffeine replacement, mood and depression, helps cognitive function, promotes mental clarity, crosses the blood-brain barrier, good for memory. Good stuff. Sounds like some really good stuff. So there's the magnesium threonate, but you said you mix the magnesium to become very sick, taurate and gluconate. So what I would suggest if you're having issues with your magnesium, let me look at this real quick. Hang on just a second because when you said that, it made me think about some stuff I had just seen on. Let me do this real quick. Let me go to I literally had just looked this up a minute ago. The magnesium, the reason I say that, because when you talked about an upset stomach, there's some magnesium used for that. It's used for heartburn. Also it is, you know what? I think it's this one. Yeah, this one here is on your bioavailability. If you've taken PPIs, that could be something to look at, because if your PPIs, if it's wrong, when I say it's wrong, if it has, how do I say this? If you've taken a magnesium and you're having some issues with it, look at what all what you've done on your bioavailability, i.e. with your body, because some of us can have, if you've taken PPIs, you've lowered your stomach acid, that can have an effect. So you've got to look at all things. Just because you took your orotate, glycinate, and magnesium threonate, and you were sick. Well, you got to also look at what else is there, right? So that's what I would literally be going to my naturopath. I'd be going to my medical team, whatever I wanted, and I would be looking at. I go personally with anything to deal with my digestive tract. I go straight to my nutritionist. I don't deal with a doctor. A doctor. He is a doctor, but he's a nutritionist. I go to that person and let that person lead me, because I want nutrition. I want to know what's going on internally. I want to know what my stomach acid is. I want to know what my pH of my stomach's running. I want to know what my digestion is doing. For me, when I did my DNA, found out that I need a lot of red meat or heavy to digest, hard to digest foods. That's what my DNA suggests for me. But other people are different. Every one of us did, just like our DNA is different. That's different. And I found that for myself, I need a really high amount of hydrochloric acid. There were days that I took a betaine HCl to boost my hydrochloric acid after surgery, because I just needed it. I had gone through so much stress and so much stuff. It was like I really needed help. And so I had to boost that, according to my nutritionist and some of the people that right, they don't know much about magnesium here. I would look at trying to find somebody in the natural world, and I say natural world, someone who's looking at the full root cause of your digestion being off. Is it a food sensitivity? Do you happen to have a chemical sensitivity? Are there cleaning products that are causing you some grief? Is it just stress? Is it a combination thereof? And so that's where you have to begin. I begin all of my clients on DNA. I look at the DNA to see what your gut, like myself, I do not have a very good gut microbiome. I've always known that, but I didn't know why. But now I know that genetically I don't have that. So I have to help myself, i.e. taking some supplements, eating the right diet, getting the right amount of exercise, getting the right amount of sleep. I find out that I have to have at least 7 or 8.5 hours of sleep a night is my target window. If I can get 9, I know it sounds crazy, But I find that's where I work best. I work extremely best at it. So getting back to your magnesium, again, magnesium is an input, and I tell everyone, I only want to supplement it for a little, like that one I was sharing with you. I only take that for a while, and then I want to boost it with foods. Salmon is a huge amount. I say huge amount, it's like 30 grams of magnesium, right? Or micrograms, 30 grams. And so I eat a lot of salmon. I am on the other side of the genetics, I am by genetics 38% Norwegian. I love cold weather. I love hot and cold sauna and cold therapy. So I do those, but when it gets into my food and my diet, I lean heavily onto salmon, onto cold water fish, oily fish, and then also oily meats. So I go into bison, which is leaner, but it's got good fats. I go really good into pork belly. I go into eggs with a lot of the choline and stuff like that. It helps me so much better. So genetically, you may want to look at a genetic test as well. So anyway, I don't want to bore you. I've been on here for 16 minutes. That's far enough time. But I wanted to share with you real quick about magnesium. Let you understand there's a lot of different ways magnesium interacts with us, but there's also a lot of different magnesiums. So just be careful of which one you choose. And if you got questions, just drop them in the show notes or drop them in the comments below, and I'll do what I can to get you some links and get you some information and help you from that way. All right. Y'all take care. Have a great weekend.